Let's welcome on the stage Arsen Marsubian.
Ready as anybody can be. I'm ready as anybody can be. I'm ready for you.
Are you ready? Boy, I'm ready. I was born ready. I want to thank you all for coming today. You ought to give yourselves a round of applause just for showing up. I really appreciate that. I want you to think for a moment, who in your life made a difference? Other than maybe your parents, somebody that said something to you that really mattered. Probably something that you've taken to heart even today. For me, that happened when I was a sophomore in high school. I was on the track team, hard to believe, but I was a distance runner at that time, a little guy. My dad had just died. I was trying to get into a very rich high school, and I figured the best way to do that is to get into sports. So I got on the track team, and I did pretty well. Then we got to the county meet, and I was favored to win this race. And for about 90% of the race, I was winning. We got to the finish line. I did not get selected. I wasn't in the top 5. I didn't get any points for the team. I didn't get a medal. It was nothing. Was it my fault? Nope. It wasn't my fault. It was those judges. Those judges. They didn't get it right. They didn't see me. They didn't see those guys push me. They should have been disqualified. That guy got in front of me, cut me off. I don't know why, but that wasn't my fault. Well, that was my story. I got back to school on Monday, and Arsen, did you win? No. But those judges, they just didn't know what they were doing. They didn't see me because So that story went on. And finally, there was a tap on the shoulder. Come here, young man. Yes, sir. It was my coach, the athletic director, and the man that was a legend called me aside. I was at that line, at the finish line, and the judges got it absolutely correct. You weren't in the top 5. You see, the first time you had any adversity, you quit. First time some guy bumped you, you quit. Somebody got in front of you and you quit. You had that race won, but you quit. Now let me tell you something. We don't always win at Fresno High, but we never quit. You ever quit again, you will never wear that uniform. Do you understand me? Yes, sir. Good. Because from now on, your race is 10 yards farther than anybody else's. You run an 880, you run 890. I make myself clear? Yes, sir. All right, now go practice. Did that little 2-minute chewing out that he probably never remembers make a difference in my life? Well, from that point on, I set every school record at Fresno High School from the sophomore 660 through the varsity mile. I set records in cross-country valley records. I was fortunate enough to get a college education because I got a scholarship to Fresno State, which I would have never had. We just didn't have the money for it. Did his life matter? Sure it did. Who in your life has poured themselves into you? That life matter? You know, Miles Monroe, The speaker said, the richest ground in the world is the cemetery, not the oil fields. People have gone to their graves with their talents, their gifts, their abilities still in them. See, December 22nd, 1999, that was my 65th birthday. And I was getting ready to have my second open heart bypass surgery within 70 days. The first one failed. So there I was. It's my birthday, so my family and friends, everybody was there. Come for the party. The nurses had got me all cleaned and dressed. I was ready to go. They sent me into the room as a guest of honor. I had a card pinned to my chest. It said, this is our father, this is our grandfather, this is my husband. If anybody in this room does not believe this surgery is going to be a success, please leave. And say a prayer for yourself and for him. Well, it was 13 hours later that I got my gift. Best gift ever. I got the gift of life. See, I was in intensive care for 4 days after that, 5 more days in the hospital. And I was given a second chance not to take my gifts and my talents and the abilities to the grave. But did I understand that? It took another 10 years from that time to where I decided to make a difference in somebody else's life. I was ready to quit. I'd had this thing called retirement. You know, I was over 70 years of age. I could go play golf. I could fool around. I could do whatever. But the thing about quitting, I guess it was ingrained. Then a guy coming on, another coach, another man, touched me on the shoulder one day and said, you have greatness within you. We all know who does that. He spent 45 minutes on the phone with me to convince me that I had the ability and I had the talent and I had the experience and I needed to get out and speak. So there I was. 2008, 2009, starting to study with individuals to get on. Now, fast forward, the other day, I was taking a class on how to make videos. And I thought, I want to try something. I took my laptop, propped it up on my desk, and I started telling a story. I told a story about time, and I figured, well, okay, I put it out there. I sent it to the Facebook group, and that was also studying, and I got some feedback from them. And then I got one of the 40 comments was from a lady back in Indiana that I had never met. And she wrote, thanks for taking the time to make this video. You see, I'd left it up on the screen and went to make dinner. And my 13-year-old son came running into the kitchen and said, Mom, Grandpa's on your computer. Can I watch him? And so we went back in and we watched the video. She goes, you know, his only grandpa lives in another state. My dad committed suicide when I was 15. Never had a dad. Would you be a grandpa? To my kids? You know, she said, there's a great idea. There's so many children in the world that don't have a grandpa. You may want to think about being that grandpa. Did my life matter? Maybe. Did I think about that people when I did it? No. So you're going to do things in your life. You're going to say things to people. You're going to make a difference, and you may not even know it. So I encourage you. I thank you for coming today. I applaud you for being here and doing what you're doing. God bless you. And remember, never, ever quit.
Welcome to the very first Speakers Unleashed. You're going to hear some fabulous speakers today with really great information.
You don't know what's going to happen in this room today, in the moon room, what the seeds are planted right now, what they're going to do for your future.
Don't forget about this. Be different.
Commitment is doing the thing we said we would do long after the feeling that we set it in is gone.
If you have a very crystallized persona, then you can write very sharp and acute content.
Make the announcement, create leverage, and put yourself on blast. That's what makes you chase your dream.
Who in your life made a difference? Somebody that said something to you that really mattered.
Because you're speaking from here, not from here, not from here. Masterfully, beautifully done. Keep going. Go all the way. Go all the way.
There is so much power in walking through our fears.
The whole theory is value, impact, profit. You create value, generate impact, then you profit. Not the other way around.
Hey, speaking worked before. I'm going to go out and do that. So I used speaking as my silver bullet of marketing.
When you identify those skyhooks, they become compelling.
How do I create an environment where it's safe to be?
My first poster has a beautiful photo of the sky. It's inspirational, isn't it? Underneath it says, "Give up."
If there's one point you take with you, it's this point. If your mind is thinking it, your body is speaking.
But we don't need to be managed. So you have absolute permission from me right now to stop it.
Understanding your unique brain wiring, your spiritual wiring, your God-given design. And then as a business person, I'm all about getting results.
I think this was probably one of the biggest things you could do for your speaking career, of anything you could do, is right here.